Hello, my friends, and welcome to Midweek Empowerment with Bishop. We're going to alter it a little bit in 2024, but I'm so excited to start this year off with you, and I wanted to be the first voice you would hear this year, because coming out of our January, our December 31st service into January 1, I'm really motivated to really kind of nudge people. I just finished today my first Bishop's Masterclass. Sign up begins this Sunday for the next Bishop's Masterclass, which begins in February, and I'm super excited. Only 25 people are a part of the Bishop's Masterclass. Now, anybody can sign up. You don't have to be a partner of St. Paul, but I'm doing these 3 sessions on success living, and I'm really excited about it. So, Bishop's time with you every week is about motivation and inspiration. I'm not a life coach. I don't profess to be that. But what I do believe is that the message of Jesus Christ should inspire you, that the principles of the kingdom should motivate you. I'm reading a book, I'm concluding a book entitled The Imposing Preacher, written by Dr. Adam Bond, and it's about Samuel Proctor. And the thing that's so powerful about the book is how Dr. Proctor, who believed in this whole idea of integration, really believed that one of the purposes of black preaching was to affect in a positive way self-esteem and personhood. And so a part of what I'm buying into that, because here's what I believe. I believe God wants you to live an extraordinary life. There may be challenges, there may be things that you're dealing with, but at the end of the day, God wants you to live an extraordinary life. So I'm going to talk about creating momentum. And then next week, I'm going to bring my middle daughter on, and we're going to talk about this whole idea of planning and thinking through strategically your life for where God wants to take you. And understand that this month of January, where we're reading Proverbs every day, right? This month of January, where we're sowing 31 days. This month of January, where we are praying every day at 6 o'clock p.m. And where we're committing to worship and to tithing. This month is going to blow your mind because God is exceeding your expectations. So I want to talk about creating momentum. And the question really becomes, what is momentum? It is the ability to start something desired and to continue to engage in actions that moves it towards the communicated goal. I love it. It is the ability to start something desired and to continue to engage in actions that moves it towards the communicated goal. One of the things that I believe very strongly is that God wants you to live a life of momentum. A life where you're building something, and then the building of it now begins to move you towards a communicated goal that now becomes a manifested goal. The Bible is replete with people who started something and finished it. Greatest example is Jesus, who started in Bethlehem, finished in Jerusalem, but now sits on the right hand of the Father. Why? Because Jesus Christ, the Son of God, while concluding his earthly journey, made a declaration: it is finished. That's what momentum is. Momentum is moving you towards the accomplishment of something so you can look it in the face and declare it is finished. Steve Ferreira once wrote, "Success is like a snowball. You got to get it moving. And the more you roll it in the right direction, the greater it gets." I believe very strongly that God has created us to get the ball rolling. 2024, which we're talking about exceeding expectations, right? 2024 is really about momentum for me. It's getting the ball rolling. It's moving in a certain direction. It's pushing and forging forward to accomplish the things that God wants us to accomplish, because we have been created for purpose. Please get this. We've been created for a purpose. That's why Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 is so important to me. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and don't lean to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge God, and God shall give you the path to go down, and then guide you as you walk out the path. Wow. That's really important, because when you look at where your life is, you have to ask some critical questions about what it is that you want to accomplish along the journey. So then the critical question tonight becomes, how do you create momentum? I'm going to give you a couple of things. Here it is. One, you create momentum by clearly asking the following questions. The first question is, where are we? That's the evaluative question. Where are we? Second question is, where are we going? That's a reflective question. And the third question is, how do we get there? That's a strategic question. Momentum is about asking the right questions at the beginning of the process. Where are we? You got to be honest. Where are you? You got to be honest. You got to tell the truth. You got to deal in a very real way with where you are. Secondly, where are we going? That's a reflective question, which means that you got to declutter your life so you can ask these questions. You got to declutter your life, which means that you got to deal with your mindset. Romans 12:2 says very clearly that you have to be transformed inwardly with the renewing of your mind. You got to be transformed inwardly by going through this process, Romans 12:2, so you will know what God's will is, so you'll understand God's purpose. That's very important, because as you strive to be the woman or the man that you're created to be, in this year, creating momentum, you got to be clear. Where are we? Where are we going? And then you got to get intentional. And how do we get there? I want to suggest 3 things that helps with the how do we get there. 1, clearly a prayer life. Clearly a prayer life. You have to know the mind of God, as my mother would say. Clearly a prayer life. Secondly, clearly the right circle around you. Clearly the right circle around you. But here's the third thing, adaptability. You got to be able to adapt, because how you get there may actually happen because you learn the nuances of adaptability. Adaptability means that you create for yourself this capacity to manage change without losing direction. Woo, that's good. You manage change without losing direction. You get there because you know how to manage change, but you don't lose direction, you don't lose energy, you don't lose pace. You just adjust. I love football, I love sports, and one of the great coaches of this time is Nick Saban. And one of the genius things about Nick Saban is that he knows how to make changes without losing direction. He knows he understands the nuances of his sport, and he knows how to make adjustments. He's a strategist, and that's what makes you successful at building momentum. So, prayer, which is your ability to discern what are the right actions. Adaptability, which is your ability to manage change without losing direction. But I want to throw a couple of things out at you that I think becomes very important. You got to take on an identity of someone that is serious about doing the work and living out the purpose of God. So I'm going to close tonight by reading you something from a book that was given to me. The book is entitled The Multipliers. I would encourage you to get it. The Multipliers. The president of our university gave us this book for Christmas. And I just started really skimming through it. And I ran into something called the 5 disciplines of the multiplier. The multiplier is the person who takes something and just grows it exponentially. The multiplier has the ability to do amazing things. And so, here's the assumption. People are smart and will figure it out. People are smart and will figure it out. So they said that there are 5 disciplines to the multiplier. Here's the first one. The talent magnet. Attracts talented people and uses them at their highest point of contribution. When you build momentum, you need to be a talent manager. magnet, rather. You need to be able to attract people who are hungry, who are motivated, and who are ready to perform at their highest level. That's the first thing. The second is the liberator. The liberator creates an intense environment that requires people's best thinking and work. I love this. Man, the liberator says, hey, my assignment is to get the best out of you. So I'm going to do what I have to do to get the best out of you. And guess what happens? When you are a liberator, people will thrive with you. The challenger defines an opportunity that causes people to stretch. The challenger is the one who sees opportunities and says, okay, how do I get the best out of you in this? Number 4, the debate maker. Drive sound decisions through rigorous debate. This is huge because the debate maker says, let's talk this through till we get to an answer that takes us to the next level. And final discipline for the multiplier is it gives other people ownership for results and invest in their success. In other words, I don't take the credit. My team takes the credit. I'm proud of my team, and they keep driving because success is in them. Why is this important? Because at the end of the day, momentum is about how you interact with other people and what your investment is in other people. The Bible is clear that there's no success without investment in other people. Jesus took 12 men, shaped them, developed them. 11 survived his crucifixion and resurrection. And they became the leaders in the process. So I want to challenge you as we get ready to go into 2024. As we're moving in this year, create momentum, become a snowball, headed in the right direction. Pray, spend time with God, get motivated, make the right decisions, be aggressive, become a multiplier. I'm going to follow up on this multiplier. I'm going to follow up on it. I'm going to teach you more about this because I think we tapped into something. And watch this, and you will be amazed at what God will do. So, join me next week as my daughter sits with me and we talk about planning and moving forward and building out an amazing life together. Be blessed, everybody. Pastor Ray's coming now with some final comments and an invitation to give, because if we were in the building, we will be giving. I love you guys so much. I'll see you Sunday, but I will watch you. I will watch you in prayer. I'll watch you in prayer. Love you guys. Take care. And we'll see you Sunday. Bye-bye.
What an amazing time we've had learning, growing, and sharing together. I want to encourage you as we get ready to go today to do 2 things. Number 1, most importantly, would you share this amazing lesson that we were just taught by Bishop. You can find today's lesson on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. You can go to Spotify. You can go to Apple Podcasts. You can go to Amazon Podcasts. You can subscribe, but we also want you to share. The second thing is we get ready to close today. We want you to pray about being a financial blessing into the ministry. This is good soil, and because it is good soil, whatever seeds you plant will produce a harvest. The ways to give at the bottom of the screen. You can go to our website, www.spmbcjax.org. It's that simple. And you can click on the giving icon. It is because of the gifts and the benevolence of our friends and our partners literally around the world that it enables us to be able to take the gospel beyond our four walls. We could not do it without you. And every gift that you sow, every seed that you plant goes to further the kingdom ministry assignment that God has given St. Paul. Well, until next week, have an amazing week. And remember to stay empowered.